Well, actually, it's interesting this morning already, just being here. I'm so glad to be back with all of you. Nancy, you gave him a talk. And then he turns around and says Abracadabra, which is the title of my talk. So I'm done. No, not really. Kind of. It works. So the title of the talk is Abracadabra. just to let you know. The word abracadabra in Aramaic means I create as I speak. Or in Hebrew, it roughly means it will be according to what is spoken. Isn't that something? Yeah. And when you get ready and go deep, man, those words spoken and what shows up on the outside is mind-blowing sometimes. So the characteristics of our essence outwardly define the abundance of magic we have incorporated into our presence. The sparkle and the zest arrives all around us as we go about our merry way when we are aligned with our innate alchemy. It is about walking in our highest way, which is not always what we have known or thought possible. So it's that moment, just like they talked about, and you hit it right on the head, Nancy. It is so true. It's about being in your truth, in your own spirit, knowing that you have the zest and the possibility to create whatever you want. But you have to know that and believe it. We've been trained to stop daydreaming and snap out of it. Now do the opposite. Stop believing in what is out there and start playing around with what is here inside of you. It's time to close your eyes and ears and search for the sound of what makes your heart race, your pulse jump, and brings a sudden smile. Our involved attainment of living a magical life sets us on a path to raise the levels of enlightenment in all humanity. Because when we're standing in our truth and living in that zest and that passion, does it not emanate out to everybody else? Yes. And when you're in that energy of love and excitement and passion, it's amazing how well your day goes, how much fun you can have, and how the people act around you. Because I know I've been in a funk lately, and I've been around some really cranky people. Of course, I didn't help matters any, but everything that happens, that exists, and is being created is coming from the inside out. We agree? Absolutely. All we have to do to get there is to imagine our way. That's the importance. It's us being connected with us, understanding that we are the ones that create this. And it's up to us to create what kind of life we want. We have a tendency of blaming somebody else. Well, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in this position today. But as you know, that's not the truth. They may have been involved in the circumstances, but I was mostly part of it. All we have to do to get there is to imagine our way. We've been running so fast towards the artificial quick fix, which at the end of the day never made us happy, right? Well, sometimes it does. There's a couple of things I've purchased recently that make me happy for about the total of 30 minutes. Yeah. But this has to do with where our thoughts reside and how much baggage we still carry. That lovely baggage. We all cart around overflowing mental garbage at all times. So don't go by looks, just go by actions. That's the most important part. This is the place where magic exists, if you want to call it that, where freedom reigns and we become one with all that exists. How do we get to where we need to go and have what we truly want? It is by retrieving the sacred reason for our existence and advancing from the stance that supports this natural order. It's a natural order. It's a natural order. If we could wake up and become aware that we are the ones that can create that for ourselves and know that all the time. Every minute of every moment of every day of our lives. How do we get to where we need to go and have what we truly want? It is by retrieving the sacred reason for our existence and advancing from the stance that supports this natural order. In a sense, it's about finding and owning one's passion. Do you know what your passion is? Do you know what you love about life? Why you're here? What your purpose is? There's a reason for our being. There's a true reason for each one of us to be here because we're here, right? It's about being in tune, standing in truth with peaceful intention. God, I love that. We shall find that there is no limit to the strength we have and the things we can do. We have yielded ourselves to the source and entered into a oneness that makes us receptive to all that source is and holds for us. All you need to feel content and full exists already in its complete form right now in your mind. You just got to allow it to come out and play, right? Wouldn't that be fun to remember that all the time? I have a story I'd like to share. Go ahead and do that. This is a pen. This is amethyst. It is a pen. It's a fountain pen. I collect fountain pens, and I love amethyst. Love, 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 love. So one day I'm on Facebook, tooling around in social media, as I tend to do. And this image comes across, and it says, if you want to manifest anything, you need to do it with this pen. And that's all it said. And I'm going like, well, that's not helping me any. How do I get it? And it ends up that I cannot find where that pen comes from. But I want it. I mean, I want it. And so I get on Facebook and I message out to friends, please help me find who this person is that made this pen. I need it. I want it. I need information. And so 3 days later, I get results. I have a friend that tells me the guy who makes this pen is in Peru. No joy. But we found an email and a phone number. And so I call him. And I say, my name is Janet Ellis. I'm about to be 60 and I want this pen for my birthday. And the guy goes, that's wonderful. I can make it for you. Contact the jewelry store in France, place an order, and I will make it for you. And I went, oh, okay. How much is it? $16,000. And at that time, I went to the picture and I said, well, I'll just pet it. I'm just going to pet it. I'll look at the picture, it's pretty. And he said, well, you know, if you, I said, I can't do that. I mean, $16,000, that's just crazy. But I'm saying it's just, you know when you connect with something so solidly that it's, there are no words. There are no words for what ended up happening with this. I couldn't let it go. And I'm looking at my husband going, honey. And he just smile and shake his head. I go, I know, but I don't know what it is about those, but isn't it beautiful? Yes, it's quite nice. So anyway, a few months go by, my birthday comes and goes, and I get a call from the guy in Peru. And he says, I want you to have this. So what I can do is, you don't have to order it from the jewelry store. I have raw material. I have my own amethyst, and I have the makings of the pen, and I'll do it for you. And I went, oh my God, this is incredible. How much is it? $10,000. I'm going to go back and pet the picture. It's just so gorgeous. And I said, that's so nice of you. I really, really appreciate it, but I can't. I mean, come on, man. That just doesn't even make any sense. So anyway, we talk a little bit more. He's a sweet guy. He's just a sweet guy. But there was something within me, and I have no words to explain what the feelings were or why it was so important for me to have this pen. It made no sense. But there was this pure essence that ran through me that said, it's yours. And that's all I knew. I didn't have to, it's $10,000. I didn't even go through, it's $10,000, you idiot, you know? Even my ego stepped in and said, I think it's going to be yours. So I'm kind of going like, yeah, okay. So anyway, again, you know, we talked back and forth. He was a real sweet guy, and he always traveled to America to the gem shows because of what he created. The man is amazing. And so anyway, I get a call out of the blue, and it's him again. And he says, I really want you to have this pen. And I said, let it go. I'm not even having the experience you're having. I mean, it's beautiful, but come on. And he said, well, I've looked at it again, and I could let you pay out once a month for a year. I said, well, that's nice, but $10,000, I don't even, there's nothing in this world that I have paid $10,000 for other than stuff for the house or whatever, you know, necessities. And he goes, well, what if we do once a month for a year and the total comes out to be $2,000? And I went, huh? I went, $2,000, pay it out for a year. Hey, babe. Something shifted in me, and it was like, that's possible, you know? And there's this, man, it wasn't just about having the pen. There was more to it than that. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put it into words. However, it is that ability, it was deep. Just like the song, it was deep. And there were no words to connect with it. So I went, well, okay, well, we can talk about that. Let me talk to my husband. That's a possibility. Possibly. Maybe. Kinda. Again, in a sense, it's about finding and owning one's passion. There are no words to describe what was going on inside of me. It just, and you guys, I didn't call, I didn't stress, I didn't go, oh, baby, I got to find a way to get this pen. You know, it was just like it was okay. Whatever it was okay. And to be in that space and to feel that way, man, to have that every day, what a miracle that would be. Just to know that every step I take, every move I make, every word I share with another human being is okay, and it just is. Right? So anyway, we get to talking, and I say, you know, my husband, Len and I talked, and we agreed it was doable at the time. And then I get a phone call. I get this phone call, and it's one of my siblings. Now, this is the part that there are no words for. There's property that was on my mom's side that has been in the family for 5 generations. For 5 generations, they've been trying to sell this 80 acres. So we're talking how many years? 5 generations. And not even a nibble. And my sister calls and says, somebody wants to buy the property. And I went, what? And it ends up that somebody, and it was a piece of land that wouldn't work for anything other than putting cattle on there for grazing. I mean, it was just really weird. But we ended up talking, and we decided between the four of us that it was a possibility to go ahead and let it go. We were the 5th generation. Nobody had done anything with it. We had talked about building buildings on there, but then it meant bringing the water, the sewage, the electricity, all that stuff, and it would cost us more than the land did. So after much discussion, I said, I'm ready to let it go. I'm just ready to let it go. And there was one sibling that was not. So, needless to say, we had to go through some time. But we sold the property. And so I called the guy in Peru. And I say, I talked to my husband, and we are not going to do the year as you discussed. We're going to pay it in full because I just got some money. So I have something to share with you. I brought to share with you Abracadabra. I know, I'm still floored, and what I love about it, you guys, this guy, he sent me pictures as he was working on my baby. So he'd send me photos, and he said, here's some raw amethyst. Which one would you like to use for your pen? And I went, huh? And like I even knew what I was doing. But I'd say, ooh, that looks good. And then he sent it to me once it had been carved out to put the gold inside for the pen and for the rest of it. And then my name is engraved in the outside, and you have to line my name up to close it. And his initials are on the back. So the beauty of this is, one of the things I'd like to share with you is, I'm involved in a volunteer situation. It's online called More Love Letters. And we have requests that come in. There could be a family member or a friend or somebody that's in need of some love. And so a friend will recommend a mother, a parent, a friend, a sibling, whatever, and say they're in need of some love letters. And so there's a group of volunteers around the world, probably about 400, 500 of us, that write a love letter note to this person. And so the note is sent to the requester. Does that make sense? She wraps it up in a big bow and delivers it to the person that she's requested for. So we just celebrated, a guy turned 90 and he got 475 birthday cards. And none of us know each other, none of us know the people that we're writing to, but we just share our love. And I use this pen when I do it. So who's to say it can't happen for you? Truly, if you really, really know what it is that you're longing for and what it is. And it's not the ego, you guys, you get it? It's deep down inside, the passion and the purpose and the love. It's something that you are about, that you're here for, and it's going to come together to share somehow with somebody else. I never imagined. Well, evidently I did. But, I mean, I never really knew what was going to happen. And then what I love is that he left some of the stone raw, and then he asked me what I wanted on here, and it says this or something better. So anytime I sit down to write with it, anytime I sit down to make notes, anytime, oh my God. I still can't believe I've got it. So, just in that time frame, if I could imagine my life like that constantly, I wouldn't just be touching, it wouldn't be about me. It'd be about me touching others. You know what I mean? I mean, to the core, again, I keep going to the core, to the passion, to the absolute of who you are, who you're meant to be, why you're here, and you're sharing it with others from the depths of your toes. So again, it's about being in tune, standing in truth with peaceful intention. I was at peace the whole time that was going on. I didn't see me getting it. Abracadabra. All you need to feel content and full exists already in its complete form right in your mind. It already exists. It's there for you. Allow it to come out and play. We need to give it permission for it to come out and play and be there for us as we want it. You hit it right on the head, Nancy. I mean, our best wishes for ourselves, our loved ones, and our planet are always energetically considered, as we are all connected by the same source, right? And that source, what we sometimes call, is the spark. I thank you.